All right. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the MNI 2023 university class on organizing and motivating a team. So this class is not only for project managers. It could also be used or applied to anyone that leads a team. So managers and supervisors, if you're in an organization, like a volunteer position leading a team. And so I hope that you find it applicable to your work. So I think I went just a little too far there. So we all know that it's very exciting when a new project launches. There's this buzz of energy with the fresh challenges and expectations of how these great results are going to be enabled. But assembling the right team early is a must to ensure that the project outcomes are achieved. So without a productive and well-organized team, there's an increased risk of projects failing to simply get off the ground. So if team members lack clear directions or aren't properly matched to the tasks that they'll be undertaking, then they'll be unable to carry out their roles and responsibilities effectively. So this can leave the project in tatters and you on with big problems on your hands. So to guarantee that the project deliverables are produced on time and on budget, you need to match the project requirements you need to have a productive team member who knows what they're doing. So when you're planning for a new project, one of the first tasks that needs to be done is to assemble and organize the best team for the project. So you need the right team members with to ensure that you've got the project objectives. You need to organize and these teams to reduce risk. Clearly define those tasks, and then motivation means stability. But it doesn't stop there. So continually motivating your team throughout the project is also a must, because most people work to live rather than living to work. So ensuring that everyone's happy in their work all the time can be difficult. But when it comes to projects, keeping those teams motivated is vital for maintaining the quality and productivity and for keeping things on track to deliver successful results. So motivated teams provide stability and keep that productivity flowing to reach the goals without things going off course. So we know that every project has a deadline. And so controlling the time ensures that the project is delivered on time. And controlling time helps you stay within your budget. But the employee's time needs to be used wisely, because leaving them with nothing to do costs the project money. So you need people who are going to be willing to learn new skills and to push themselves out of their comfort zones, who are supportive people, who are also team players, and are team members that will fit into the team culture. Because historically, project teams are made up of people who they're just assigned purely because of their professional skills. But modern projects call for more collaborative approaches. So to create the right team for the job, the right environment, you need compatible people with the correct professional skills, but also the right soft skills needed for teamwork. And you also need to have the correct job skills. So there are three important things to look for. And those are the three things that we just discussed. So they need to be able to learn new skills. They need to be supportive team players, and they need to be able to fit within the team culture. Because you certainly don't want to run that risk of the project just going off the rails. So once you have your team assembled, you need to organize them correctly to ensure that they'll work effectively together to achieve your common goals of the project. And when you organize these roles, make sure the team members are matched to the tasks that you're asking them to accomplish, and that these tasks play to their strengths. So consider what each team member brings to the table. So this will help with efficiency for the project. So you need to ensure that the tasks are delegated fairly. We don't want one team member carrying the bulk of the workload. That's not fair, and they'll begin to resent you and the project overall. We also want to make sure that everyone understands their role and what they need to actually achieve individually. So when the roles are organized and the teams are up and running, check in regularly and make sure that they have everything they need and enough resources to cope with the workload to achieve the goals. So this will also help keep the project running smoothly, and you'll be able to spot any issues and fix them before they actually become problems. So at this point, does anyone have any questions? No? All right. All right, let's move on to motivating the team. So now let's say your team is organized and you're ready to keep those team members motivated for the entire journey of the project. So this is where it can become a bit more difficult. This is the hard part, because motivation is really a personal choice. And you ask, well, how can I motivate someone? Well, it is a personal choice, but there are things that you can do to provide an opportunity for the team members to become more motivated, because everyone is driven by both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. And what that means is intrinsic motivation involves doing something because it's personally rewarding to you, and extrinsic motivation means doing something because you want to earn a reward or avoid a punishment. And so to get the best from your team, you need to encourage both. So here are some ways that you can help motivate your team. Set realistic goals. And this may seem obvious, but it's really, really important. So when you're starting a new project, this can be exciting, but it's hard not to get carried away. But by not overestimating your team's capacity and capabilities and applying too much pressure, this which can be demotivating to individuals. So set a detailed agenda from the start so that everyone knows what their responsibilities are and can see how the work is divided fairly. So next is be direct and communicate clearly. So once the goals are set, ensure expectations about the workload and the due dates are clear and that everyone's in agreement with them. Make sure that there are clear lines of communication throughout the team and that team members know about them, and that there are several ways to contact you. And you'll begin to see that certain team members have preferred means of communication. And if you honor and respect those, that will be also motivating to the team. So listen to any concerns that may be raised. For example, if a deadline is going to be missed, find out the reasons why, and then work with the team members to look for solutions. Sometimes just an extra pair of eyes on a problem will find a solution faster. And you might never know, but it might be as simple as just reorganizing the workload. Maybe that will resolve the problem. I also recommend that you catch up regularly. So one thing that I like to do is to conduct weekly cadence sessions to see how the team members are progressing. So have a solid plan for these sessions, these meetings. And look at the achievements of the week and the plan for the next week. What has been performed, what has been accomplished, and what is being planned for the next week, and where you can provide help and assistance, and what resources might be needed. So use this plan to highlight any upcoming deadlines and discuss any challenges or issues that might arise. And you need to show evidence of the progress regularly, because that's also a great motivator. It also creates collaboration opportunities, and a joined up team, which can see how tasks fit into the bigger picture, is also motivating. Ask your team members for feedback during these meetings, because this is crucial. Let them know that their voice and their work matter, and that their opinions are valued, and this will boost their motivation as well. Use this time for feedback and praise, and set the roadmap for the project completion so that it can be viewed. I see we've got a question in the chat. Oh, okay. Thanks, Adam. And recognizing that when you see the entire list of tasks that need to be completed to complete the project, and you're looking down the long road, that can kind of be a demotivator. So keep them focused on the task at hand. And if someone's created something great, even if it's a small thing, let them know, give them praise, because doing things like this can be a real motivator. And then don't overlook the opportunity for small rewards, whether it's taking them out for lunch or drinks if that's appropriate, to celebrate, just making it through a tough day. That keeps morale high and helps to strengthen the team bond. And finally, be a positive role model. You want the team to be motivated, then you have to walk the walk. Get excited about the project. Highlight the benefits that it will have for your department or the company as a whole. And this helps everyone to connect with the project and form a deeper commitment to their work. And back this up by showing them your work too. And this helps them understand your role and lets them see that you're not just delegating everything to them, but you're actually working on the project, that you've got skin in the game, as it were. Okay. Any questions? All right. So moving on, another great, as we were talking about intrinsic and extrinsic motivators, provide incentives. So never underestimate the power of incentives. Now, financial incentives might not always be possible, and using things like half days or work from home days can really help boost team morale and productivity. For example, if a deadline has been brought forward or extra work has come in, help them go that extra mile by offering some sort of incentive, because this not only helps boost individuals, but the whole team, and let them shine. This, the success of the projects, and ultimately your own personal success, depends on the success of your team. So figure out ways to give each member a chance to be in the spotlight for a while. So knowing they have this chance will help motivate them to create their best work. You can do this through spotlighting a team member's work during your cadence meetings, for example. And finally, don't be a micromanager. Be a leader, but not a fixer. So when problems come up, discuss with the team what they think the solution is, rather than fixing it for them. Nurture these strong relationships, and having a team who care for each other on a deeper level than just being coworkers is a powerful motivational tool. Because they care about each other's success as well as their own, they'll put more effort in. And creating opportunities for the team to socialize outside of work will help encourage this bond. Don't work people too hard. You want your team to be productive and work hard, but don't expect this 24/7. Everyone needs a work-life balance, and it's okay to stop for 10 minutes now and then to have a cup of coffee and a chat. Work needs to be enjoyable and social, as well as productive and organized. And of course, you want to encourage the team to focus on their work, but do take those occasional breaks, or be cautious of taking too many, because distractions could start to happen. Okay. Now we're going to talk about those self-organizing teams that we learned earlier happen with the Agile project management method. So again, depending on which project management methodology you're using, you might utilize self-organizing teams. So unlike the traditional teams, self-organizing teams don't rely on managers, project managers, but they have mentors instead, like the Scrum Master. Now, they're there to help, but not to delegate the work. So rather than having a manager push those tasks, the members decide among themselves what work they want to work on. So during the project, they identify the activities, they prioritize the tasks, and they manage their own timelines. But they also take the responsibility of finding the most effective and efficient way to achieve the project goals, and regularly experiment along the way to improve their work. Now, this means that they're often very efficient, which can help beat project deadlines and surpass the project goals. So individuals in self-organizing teams are usually great collaborators and communicators. And by communicating effectively within the team, they identify the tasks that have been picked up already and understand what still needs to be done. They take a whole team approach to pending tasks, viewing what remains as the entire team's responsibility, not just the individuals. And so everyone has a strong sense of ownership of the project. They have confidence in their ability and that of their colleagues as well. And if you're like most project managers, you always have too much to do. And this sort of setup could be just what you're looking for. But self-organized teams have some negatives to watch out for too. If every team member rather isn't on the same page, the whole thing starts to fall apart. Because self-organized teams rely on good communication and good interaction. So if even just one team member doesn't communicate well or doesn't fit with the team, then you'll have a problem. And if conflicts arise within the team, it could lead to project failure. So there's also a problem when it comes to accountability. In traditional teams, if something goes wrong, it can be pinpointed to a specific area, and measures can be put in place to help rectify the problem without disrupting the whole team. But because self-organized teams work as a single unit, this isn't always possible. And if something is going off course, it can affect the productivity of the entire team, not just that individual. So the challenges of self-organized teams can be difficult to overcome and could mean reverting to a traditional managed team setup, which could then delay your project. So if you're going to use self-organized teams, you need to be extra careful about the team members that you choose. You need to make sure they're self-driven team players who are ready and willing to support each other, and be certain that they can sustain the same level of commitment throughout the entire project. So, in summary, when undertaking any project, having the right team is crucial. By making sure you organize teams correctly from the start and keep them motivated throughout the project, you can ensure your goals are met successfully. So remember, when organizing your teams, look for soft skills as well as professional skills. Find people who are willing to learn new skills, who are team players and a good fit within the team culture. And if you're using self-organized teams, make sure you're confident that they'll maintain their relationship and take full ownership of their work. And when it comes to motivation, remember these tips. Set realistic goals, be direct and communicate clearly. Make sure you catch up with your team regularly and give plenty of feedback and praise from the start. Be a positive role model and let them shine to encourage their best work. Nurture strong relationships by organizing social events outside of work, and never underestimate the power of incentives. And having the right teams in place helps projects to run smoothly. And with everything running like clockwork, you can start dreaming about your next big project. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your attendance today. Next week, we're going to be talking about activity and resource planning. So, do you have any questions, or can I clarify anything for you? Or what can I clarify for you? I'd like to just open up the floor for any questions.
I'm good. Are you sending your slides out to everybody?
I will. I remember I checked last night and I had forgotten to send out last week's slides, but yes, I will send the deck out to everyone.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Sure, of course.
Angela, thank you so much. I appreciate you getting the link to me as quickly as you could this morning.
Of course. It's my pleasure.
Have a great day.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Angela.
Mm-hmm.